Active self-protection extra lesson today. I am here with my teacher. This is Professor Lawrence Robinson. And he has taught me now for 11 years. You've put up with me.
Oh my gosh.
How many years have you been teaching, Mr. Robinson?
This is 40 years that I've been teaching, 41 years that I've been training. But you got to remember, I was a student instructor for several years. But after about a year of training, I started being a student instructor.
How many years as senior instructor? How many years younger in school?
Since 1981.
1981. I was 5, and he already had his own school, which means you're old, sir. So I had some people ask me, I'm going to link to the video here, about the robbery in Houston, right? This is not too long ago. And a guy gets the wallet ripped out of his hands, and then he kind of mean mugs him, man, what are you doing? Give my wallet back. Brr. And while he's standing there, and they're real close with hands down, right, he just reaches up and drills him, and then the fight was on. So I talk about the defensive fence all the time, and the defensive fence is something, not with those words, but that term I learned from you, and of course from Mr. Hancock as well. So I want to show people what that looks like and what a defensive fence is, because, so we're going to use this. We have this as an analog for an arm. And the reason for that is if I go hard, so Mr. Robinson's a really significant martial artist, and if I really try to drill him and he blocks it, he'll hurt my arm. So I can use this when we go hard. But if his hands are down and I'm close, he allows me to be close, and I'm going, this he's never going to see in time, and I don't really care. So if I make a change here and I just say I'm going to hit him in his shoulder, right? And I go, hey, man, like that. And I say, okay, so he decides we're close and he can't see it. And if he wants to try to block that, and I go, hey, man, I already got him before the hand comes up. However, when we talk about the defensive fence, whether that's cops, right? Like a cop will hold on to his, his notepad or whatever while he's talking to you, or he has something in his hands. I like to do this. When I'm talking to unknown contact, I like to kind of stick an arm underneath and one up high. Yeah, see, I'm holding on like this. Like, so tell me about that. That's interesting. Maybe my Italianish, I talk with my hands a lot, right? So if the hands are up and I go, okay, wait a minute, and I'm here and I go, I can't get to him no matter what. Even if I'm trying to go hard and I try to get to him, I may get him to even not choose that right hand because he knows it's not there. So again, let's just say I'm going to go real fast here and he's hands down. And again, I'm not going to hit him in the face. I'm going to hit him in the arm. And I kind of went through a little bit, but you can't get to it in time. But if the defensive fence is up, even from far away, and I go like this, you see, he's able to get to me and I can't stop it. So here's what the defensive fence is really all about. So even if I get to be the good guy here, so if Mr. Robinson's my bad guy, and I get to just see it coming and I'm flinching and I go, whoa, like this. So the most primitive is I'm just covering my head and my neck to just say, oh man, I don't want any problems here. And now at least I can grab him and go, oh man, what are you doing? A little bit more advanced from that, if I recognize that he's got that right foot back, he's got that right shoulder back, so guess what's coming?
And 85% of the people are right-handed, and they tend to use the things that are most comfortable to them.
Right. So one of the things that we talk about when I know that right hand is coming, if I know that right hand's coming in around, it's coming in a circular motion, that I like to dive through the opening here, right? So if I can, and it comes, boom, I dive right through that opening. If I overshoot it, well then guess what? I have a hold of his arm at least, and we can go to town. If I don't overshoot it, and I catch it right with the outside 90, boom, I'm able to stop that, and now that's going to hurt like the dickens because I'm getting him on his radial nerve here, and I can then move that into something else and just go to town on him with my empty-handed skills.
And one of the things that John's bringing up that he's not really talking about is sort of the structural reinforcement that, when he just naturally stands like this is a very non-threatening position, and it's like, hey, I don't want any trouble. But really and truly, he's got this compact unit that when he flinches, just
tightens it up.
Tightens up just from being nervous or whatever. Just that.
Yep.
And, okay, I'm going to go now. So I'm going to do it kind of like. So, but now if I hit him as hard as I can, he doesn't have to hardly do anything. His structural reinforcement, it's not that he's a brute, I'm not a brute, or whatever. It's just the fact that he is structurally, it's physics, guys, it's nothing else. He is structurally reinforced that he has these barriers that John is talking about automatically in place, and he doesn't have to think about them.
So, in your training, if you're thinking about this, we talk about verbal judo all the time, right? So the defensive fence helps me before the attack because it can ward that off. Hey, man, I don't want any problems, right? So my hands are up, my palms are out. I don't want any problems. Verbal judo. It also builds a defensive fence to stop the encroachment, to keep that sucker punch from catching me and gives me a chance in the fight. Hope it helps.